Welcome to the Kart Indianapolis experience at Whiteland Raceway Park. Indy's premier outdoor karting circuit, Whiteland Raceway Park, is just 20 minutes south of downtown Indy and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Our trackside event center and high-speed go-karts make Whiteland Raceway Park the perfect destination for your next event or party. Stop in today or book your race online at racewrp.com and experience real racing right here in Indy.
We're at a commercial break.
Brandon, why are there all these charges for just over $200 from Acceleration Kart Racing's website?
That's because AKR gives you free shipping on orders of $200 or more within the continental US.
Okay, but I thought you were just getting a pair of gloves. That's what, 70 bucks?
But if I'm getting a new pair of gloves, I might as well get a new pair of shoes to match. And then on top of that, I'll get a neck brace because with the shipping, it's basically free.
Yeah, I do not think the math checks out on that.
Everything you need, all in one place and shipped to your door for free for orders of $200 or more. Exclusions apply. Spend responsibly. Shop AKR.com.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
And here we go. This is your 206 Supermasters about to take the green here as they are in the tram lines heading down the back straightaway. Tom Harleman is going to take him to the green. Green flag is out, and oh, Tom gets turned. 3, 4, 5 karts get turned around, and now they're all going to be in a parking lot right here. It looks like Black Friday at Kmart as they're now going to get themselves underway, and it looks like that is going to be Wilbur out on top, and he is going to pull away from the rest of the field now, and putting a significant gap on everyone else as they make their way across the stripe, and I believe he does. 2.4 second gap after lap 1 across the stripe. Tom Stevens goes to P2, Scott Galladay to P3, William McLaughlin, Billy McLaughlin that is, to P4, Wesley Bullock to P5, Richard Lowe to P6, Tom Harleman falls all the way back to 7th. Chris Whiteacre comes across the P8, and Tom Guff in P9. So that is how they all stack up after the first lap. And right now, it's the Travis Wilbur show. He has got a commanding lead so far, and right now he just has to turn in a couple of good laps. He could probably sit back and take it easy now. 4 minutes remain plus 2 laps for him as he's probably going to make his way across the stripe right at about 3 minutes, 4 minutes flat, or 3 minutes and 59 seconds, and it's 4 minutes flat when he comes across the stripe. So lap 1 was just at 49 seconds there. Tom Stevens comes across at a 53, Scott comes across at a 53, McLaughlin comes across at a 50, so everyone's a little bit slower there that previous time by, and just like that, Wilbur, 6.6 second gap he has over the entire field, and right now it's going to come down to a battle for second. There goes Wilbur. He takes a peek back and doesn't see anything. It looks like he's just out for another practice session here with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Then you get to the second placement, Tom Stevens, with Scott Galladay there in the 3rd position. And there's the rest of the field still sorting themselves out. There was, I believe that was Richard Lowe getting passed by Tom Harleman going down into turn number 6 and still getting themselves sorted out there. Kart number 2, Richard Lowe, making his way up through traffic. He is in between Billy McLaughlin in P4 and Tom Harleman in P6 as they make their way into turn number 1 now. 2 minutes and 47 seconds remain. So now McLaughlin going to work on Scott Galladay on the exit of the Southside Hairpin, heading down towards Daytona now. Door to door they go. McLaughlin cleared, so count Scott McLaughlin Billy McLaughlin up to P3. Tom Stevens in that 4th position. He's got a little bit of a buffer, about 1.1 second back between himself and McLaughlin, and about 9 seconds ahead is Tom Stevens, followed by Travis Wilbur, who's another 8 seconds up the road. So now, Travis Wilbur turning out fast lap after fast lap. Last time by, he won a 48.0. Stevens won a 49.4. McLaughlin won a 49.0. So Wilbur about a second cleared of the rest of the field. 9.9, almost 10 seconds cleared between himself and Stevens there in the 2nd position. 11 seconds back to McLaughlin. 12 seconds back to Galladay, and 14 seconds back from Tom Harleman. Man, what a horrible start for Tom Harleman, getting turned going into turn 1, and he falls all the way back through the field. He's recovered up to 5th so far, but he's going to have his work cut out for him. He's going to need to take every position he can get here and then try to make up for it even more when it comes time for the feature later on this afternoon, because he knows Wilbur's going to be fast no matter what. So he's going to have to just recover as much as he can, get a good start, and then just hope he can get in the toe of Travis Wilbur out in front. Wilbur right now continues to turn fast lap after fast lap. 48.3 his last time by. 10.6 seconds he has over Stevens in the 2nd spot. So they continue to turn laps here. About a minute to go, plus 2 laps for your leader of Travis Wilbur out in front. Let's see if we can't get a look at Tom Harleman there in the 5th position with the black card and orange helmet. There's the 56 of McLaughlin trying to get by Stevens, I believe, and he will. So count him up 1 more position. There on the left-hand side of your screen was Tom Harleman right there. He is in that black card with the orange helmet. He's trying to just make up as many spots as he can. Meanwhile, McLaughlin should be up in the 2nd position now when he makes his way across the stripe here. And he's turning fast laps, not as fast as what Wilbur is doing, but now that he's got some clean air, let's see if he's able to make up maybe a little bit more time. I don't think he's going to have any anywhere close to enough time to close down on the lead, as we're looking at 13 seconds plus 2 laps to go for Travis Wilbur out in front. So he should get double sticks in the air this time by. However, we'll get an indication to see how fast McLaughlin will be able to reel in Wilbur on the start. As we have got one turned around over in turn 6. That is the 25 of Tom Guff going into turn 6. So unfortunate for him, he had a bad start, and now it just continues to get worse as he lost control there into turn 6, able to recover and continue on. But now McLaughlin closing up, and if I'm not mistaken, McLaughlin might be closing in on Wilbur. Let's watch this right here. Is he able to get over Travis Wilbur? No, sorry, that is a similar helmet style, but that was the 25 of Tim Guff. I thought for a second something majorly happened to Wilbur. He's still 10 seconds cleared. However, McLaughlin now turning faster laps than Wilbur. Last time by, Wilbur went at 50.870. McLaughlin 49.180. So he was able to cut a second down that last time by. And if he's able to turn laps like that, he'll have a front row start as of now on the outside of row number 1. His double sticks are in the air, 2 laps to go for the rest of the field, as Travis Wilbur should be making his way out of the final corner coming onto the main straightaway. So Travis Wilbur is going to see the white flag this time by. Let's see his time compared to McLaughlin though. Into turn 1 he goes. His time was a 48.2, so still about a 10th slower than McLaughlin. Let's see McLaughlin's now that he's got some clean track in front of him. He should be coming across the stripe now, and he does. 49.1, so we actually slowed it down a little bit. So Wilbur still faster than McLaughlin, opened up about a 1.1 second lead as the white flag shown to everyone so far. Wilbur, smooth sailing from the start. He was able to avoid the contact there going into turn 6, was able to keep his nose clean the rest of the race, turn fast laps, and very consistent for that matter as well. 48.2s to 48.0s all the way throughout the board as he's making his way now. Should be going out of turn 8 down this back straightaway, or front straightaway here, and he does, coming down to receive the checkered flag. Travis Wilbur is going to take the win here for your 206 Supermasters, and he will put it on pole position for the feature this afternoon. McLaughlin should be the next one to the line here. There he goes by on your screen, so that's going to count McLaughlin up starting on the front row outside of row number 1. Stevens is the next one across. He'll start inside of row 2. Scott Galloway will start outside of row number 2. Richard Lowe inside row 3. And man, Tom Harleman, after being on the front row, is going to have to start outside of row number 3. So that will do it for your 206 Supermasters. Up next, it's your micros and your minis set to take the green here for their pre-final event, coming to you live here on Kart Chaser. And here we go. Your micros and your minis are underway, and it is Reagan Hodges out in front to take the lead, and she's trying to do a double sweep of the weekend. She got the win in 206 Cadet. Well, sorry, she got pole position in 206 Cadet, got the heat win, they got the feature win. She's trying to repeat it all over again in this mini category right now as she makes her way towards the start-finish straight to lead lap number 1. So count Reagan Hodges up in front, almost a second cleared of Chase Call in the second spot. Chase Call, who also ran in the 206 Cadet along with Lit Simonellic in P3. So all three are doing double duty here for morning and afternoon shifts as they are now making their way out of the south side hairpin. Reagan set sail out in front. Would not be surprised if she was over a second cleared by the time they go back to the start-finish straight. Chase Call in that Kart 15 in the second position on that, I believe that is a top Kart chassis, and it is, making his way through turn number 6, and just behind him, Lit Simonellic in P3, not too far behind Chase Call. Reagan takes it out of the final corner for the second time so far, 4 minutes and 20 seconds plus 2 laps still yet to go. And let's see the gap this time by. 2.6 seconds cleared over your second placement of Chase Call. Chase Call currently sitting at a 0.7 of a second buffer right now over Lit Simonellic in P number 3. So the time continues to wind down as we're looking at 3 minutes and 30 seconds plus 2 laps. There's a good shot of Reagan now going into turn number 6, and there's a good representation of how far ahead she is over Chase Call and Simonellic there in second and third. There goes Call, there goes Simonellic. A little bit loose there, mid-corner was Simonellic. Reagan making her way now over through turns number 8 and 9, or 8, heading towards the start-finish straight to drop it down into the oval, so to speak. You see the little bobble of their heads when they go through, and they make their way to that little dog leg right-hand corner before going in to the oval turn number 1. 3.6 seconds now separates Reagan Hodges from Chase Call. Call currently sitting at now a 0.4 of a second lead over Simonellic there in the third position. And they're the two right now battling it out for the second spot as they make their way towards Daytona now through that short chute. Reagan making her way into turn 6 in that frame, and here comes Simonellic. He has been all over the back of Chase Call most of the day, so to speak, in the 206 category, and now in the micro category. Again, the micro is the stepping stone you take in the 2-cycle division from kit karts going up into the 2-cycle category. From here you go into micro, and then at micro you have the option to go towards either the KA program with the 100cc and the KA Junior, or the X30 program that we see on the National Series with the X30 Junior. From there, you have the stepping stone once you turn 15, the eligibility to either go the single-speed route with either KA or X30, or if you'd like, you can try the shifter category as well and branch off into the 125. So these are definitely a very important stepping stone when you're making your way up through the ranks. A lot of times, you'll see some kiddos actually bypass kit karts and will start when they're 8 or 9 years old in the micro and mini division before they try to develop their skills to go forward. Some kiddos like to opt out and take the kit kart program. Their parents think that's best for them to get some seat time underneath their belts. Most of the time it's rain at practice if you'll go down to local tracks here and run on their kit kart program days, or going down to some tracks like Steer Land where you have the track to yourself and just learn the basics and the fundamentals of racing and all of it through before you now get some seat time with some other drivers around you. So it's good to see that we still have some supporters here in the developmental classes that we have with your Micro Swifts. We continue to sit back and watch. Reagan Hodges out in front with a 6.5 second lead over the entire field. Chase Call sitting P2 still as he's holding off Lit Simonellic in P3. Last time by, 0.191 tenths of a second separate the two of them now as we're looking at about a minute to go. Plus 2 laps, so 5 minutes plus 2 laps in total. We have done 4 minutes and 13 seconds so far as we're getting close to a minute left plus 2 laps. And you are now watching the battle for second. That's between Chase Call and Lit Simonellic going through Daytona Corner. Chase Call is actually I believe this is the first year that he made the switch from kit karts over into the cadet category here, running in the 206 cadet as well as the micro class. So he's getting 4 cycle experience and 2 cycle experience as he's now holding off Simon Ellick now coming out of the final corner down towards the back straightaway as we're looking now at about 2 laps remaining. So this next time by, should be 2 laps to go for Reagan Hodges. Double sticks in the air after the time has expired as we are now 5 minutes and 24 seconds so far in. There's Reagan now going out of the Daytona corners. We're getting set up to capture second and third going into the south side hairpin there. They went by on your screen, heading towards Daytona now. Chase Collin, that top cart out in front. Second place of Lent Simon Ellick right there in cart 40. He was running on an HMG for the 4 cycle. I couldn't quite make out what chassis he's running on the 2 cycle now as they make their way through turns number 6. And I believe Reagan should be seeing the white flag this time by, and she does. White flag in the air for Reagan Hodges. So 1 more lap for her to go knock 2 out of the 3 out of the ballpark of both pole position and the heat win to try to do a sweep on both classes of the 206 cadet and the micro division. So now we're going to sit and watch, and it looks like Chase Collin doing a good job holding off Simon Ellick so far. He's done it the entire heat race. And let's see if we can't pick up Reagan Hodges here in her final couple of turns as she's making her way out of turn 7, heading over towards the final corner now. There she is, set into turn number 8 for the final time here in the heat race, going down this front straightaway and about to make the drop into the oval. There she goes now, checkered flag in hand. Reagan Hodges will win the Micro Swift category here for the heat race, and she'll put it on pole position for the feature. Next up to the line will be Chase Collin and Simon Ellick as they make their way through. Chase Collin comes home in P2. Simon Ellick rounds out the field in 3rd. So that'll do it for your micros. Up next is your mini category here, and after that we'll then move on to our 206 heavies for their heat race event.
Welcome to the Kart Indianapolis experience at Whiteland Raceway Park. Indy's premier outdoor karting circuit, Whiteland Raceway Park is just 20 minutes south of downtown Indy and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Our trackside event center and high-speed go-karts make Whiteland Raceway Park the perfect destination for your next event or party. Stop in today or book your race online at racewrp.com and experience real racing right here in Indy.
Green flag is out for your minis as they make their way through turns turn number 6, now heading over to Big Bend of turn number 7, setting it up for turn 8 now. And it looks like that is Will Feistinger up into the mix into P3. I believe Dominic Gaddis is just in front of him, his teammate in P2. Time he's going to update here when they come across the stripe, and it is Titus Roberts leading the way right now out in front. So Dominic Gaddis has the point now going into the south side hairpin onto the back straightaway, and it looks like it's a 3-car pack right now making the way through. Gaddis dipped a wheel almost into the grass trying to set up a move, and then his teammate Will Feistinger, he's getting a little bit of a push there from Kason Hendrickson going in to turn number 6. And man, that was one risky move there from Gaddis. He saw an opportunity and he said, I guess it's now or never. He made his move, and it didn't quite work out into his advantage. He's going to lose a spot now to his teammate of Feistinger now as they go down towards start finish straight. Down into turn number 1. Titus Roberts holds on to the point, going over into turns 2, now setting up for 3, and Gaddis under attack now from his teammate Austin Taylor. Taylor was on the cusp of starting on pole position after qualifying, found himself a little bit farther back in the field, now in the battle for the top 4, and I think he would love nothing more than to possibly make a move as here comes Will Feistinger on the inside of Titus Roberts. He takes the spot, and he does. He oversteps just a little bit, opens the door, there goes Roberts again, and that's going to pack the field back up. So Titus Roberts back onto the lead. Here comes Feistinger trying to hold off Dominic Gaddis here for 3rd. Gaddis has a look to the inside, and it looks like Feistinger is going to go down and defend his line across the start-finish straight. Here comes Austin Taylor. He sees an opportunity to take up a spot, and I believe he just might have. I believe he, that's Bailey McCain, able to get around Kason Hendrickson. So, as of right now, it is a new gen in P1 with Titus Roberts, Will Feistinger on a MPG Kart Republic, his teammate Dominic Gaddis on an MPG Kart Republic, as well as Austin Taylor on an MPG Kart Republic. Then you get back to Kason Hendrickson, who is under the AMAX 10, I believe on an EOS chassis, Top Kart chassis, EOS chassis, running in the 4th position. And then you go a little bit farther back to Bailey McCain, who I believe is also under the AMAX 10. So they are all making their way through right now. They're all still bunched up. And I'll tell you what, the two teammates keep going back and forth on each other. Gaddis and Feistinger both want to be the lead MPG out in front to try to take the battle to Titus Roberts, but as they're doing this jockeying back and forth for position, not only is it allowing Austin Taylor to be up in the mix, but they're allowing Titus Roberts to pull away from the field. Titus Roberts last time by had a half a second over the rest of the field. So looks like Gaddis now settles into 2nd position on point for that 2nd pack, and you can see him pointing forward to his teammate of Feistinger, trying to tell him to give him a little bit of a push there, but it looks like Feistinger is going to have to hold off the charge from McCain and Austin Taylor. Sorry, McCain is a MPG Kart Republic as well, and they're all going a little bit wide there on the exit of the final corner, down towards start finish straight, and now Feistinger's under attack from Bailey McCain into turn 1, and they're still trying to settle into position here. Meanwhile, out in front, Dominic Gaddis is holding on to about a half a second deficit between himself and Titus Roberts out in front. He went about 4/100ths better than your leader of Roberts. We're looking at about 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. He's got to make up that 3-car deficit in that time, plus 2 laps. Now heading down towards turn 6, Gaddis going back and forth with McCain. Now McCain is trying to do an over-under. He's going to have on point. Austin Taylor also in that mix. He's giving a little bit of a push there to McCain. I think he's just trying to get these guys to settle down. Austin Taylor has a lot of experience here, not only with the team of MPG, but also Whiteland Raceway Park, and he's someone who's not afraid to play it patient and just wait and see how it plays out. Right now, he was able to get around Feistinger, so now count Feistinger back into P4. Or 5, Austin Taylor up into 4th. Now Taylor's going to be on the back bumper of McCain, and he might actually try to work with them just a little bit to get some breathing room between themselves and the rest of the field. But as we're saying all this and watching this battle for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th position, Gaddis has arrived on scene with Titus Roberts through turn number 6 as they're still going back and forth. It looks like Austin Taylor wants to make up one more spot. He wants to go for 3rd here soon, as we're looking at 30 seconds to go, so it should be 3 laps to go this time by. The clock will not expire by the time they make it towards the stripe, and it will be 3 laps to go into turn 1. Gaddis went purple last time by, 44.903 to Titus Roberts' 45.202. So they're going to start jockeying for position out in front. That might slow them down just a little bit, but while they're going back and forth for position, both McCain and Taylor will be jockeying back and forth for P3. So I don't think it's going to slow them down to that second pack unless Taylor is able to get around to McCain, which he is. So now that's going to be Taylor up into third. If McCain can just wait a little bit longer on his back bumper and hold off the rest of the pack, then there might be an opportunity here to close back up to the top two if Gaddis and Roberts start going back and forth for position. But meanwhile, here comes McCain up on the inside there for Austin Taylor down into turn one. They're going top two into turn one. Taylor able to hold off McCain, Feistinger and company. Dalton Sears also up in that mix, as well as Kason Hendrickson. So I think it's just going to come down to what happens in that front pack. That's going to determine who's going to win. And this one right here in that second group is going to determine who brings home the third place and start on the inside of row number two. Down the back straightaway they go. Looks like Gaddis not close enough to make a move on Roberts just yet. He's slowly starting to close up to him. He might have one opportunity going into or out of turn number 8. Doesn't have it going into, and I don't think he's going to have it going out of. He's in the toe, just not going to be enough. So white flag this time by for Titus Roberts. Gaddis is going to have just one more lap to make his opportunity. Meanwhile, Austin Taylor falls back one position. Bentley McCain now up into third. And now Taylor trying to see if he can't set up an over-under. Let's watch the battle for the lead now. Top two making the way through the south side hairpin. Gaddis not close enough here. He's going to have to draft for all it's worth out of the Daytona corner. Going down the back straightaway. Doesn't have enough. He's losing a little bit of distance as well. So it is not going to go into the favor of Gaddis. But meanwhile, this battle for second starting to heat up. Austin Taylor able to get around McCain as of now. Defending that inside line over into turn number 7. Meanwhile, your top two making the way towards start-finish straight. Titus Roberts going to take the win here this afternoon. Start provisional pole. Let's see if we can't get a shot. They're 3, almost 4 wide, coming down to the stripe here for P2. Who's it going to be? And I think it might be Feistinger. It is. Will Feistinger goes up into P3. Austin Taylor 4th. Bentley McCain 5th. Dalton Sears 6th. Kason Hendrickson in 7th. And Lincoln Wiley in 8th. I am sure there might be some conversation in that MPG garage once they make their way through the scale line and maybe even in the scale line, because talk about teammates going after teammates there that entire race long for the Mini Swift. Entertaining for us. Enjoyed every minute of it. As we watch some replays here, we're going to get set to go for your 206 Heavy. So enjoy the replays as we sit back here for a quick break. When we come back, it is going to be the 206 Heavies.
Still going back and forth. It looks like Austin Taylor wants to make up one more spot. He wants to go for third gear.
Welcome to the Kart Indianapolis experience at Whiteland Raceway Park. Indy's premier outdoor karting circuit, Whiteland Raceway Park is just 20 minutes south of downtown Indy and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Our trackside event center and high-speed go-karts make Whiteland Raceway Park the perfect destination for your next event or party. Stop in today or book your race online at racewrp.com and experience real racing right here in Indy.
Green flag is out for your 206 heavies, making their way now over into turns number 7, setting up for turn 8, and it looks like it is going to be Troy Toney out in front over Evan McCorkadale, making their way through. Down this front straightaway they go before they drop into the bowl of the final corner before they head up into turn number 1 across the start-finish straight. There it is, Troy Toney, McCorkadale, Williams, Galladay, Palmer Eicher Jr., Aaron Maxwell, Palmer Eicher Sr., Brandon McIntosh and Brandon Lorick are the 9 karts that took the green flag here for your 206 senior heavy. Now they make their way into that south side hairpin before going down towards the back straightaway in the Daytona corner. And McCorkadale, I believe, is content with pushing Troy Toney down that back straightaway into turn number 6 as they're trying to get themselves a little bit of separation from the rest of the field. Williams now, I believe he does have a slightly comfortable lead over Riley Galladay in P number 4. They're just off camera there. They're on the left-hand side of your screen, down towards the start-finish straight. Meanwhile, battle out in front, McCorkadale and Troy Toney running almost identical lap times. They're just pushing each other, McCorkadale pushing Troy Toney around so far. I don't know if he's going to try to make a move there or not, as there went our flagman Adam Burrows making the drive back from the back straightaway to the front straightaway to the start-finish straight. Out of the back straightaway they go, and it looks like Troy Toney opening up about a half a car length advantage over your second place with McCorkadale. Down the back straightaway they go, heading towards turn number 6, and McCorkadale not close enough to make a move here, and he's actually losing just a little bit of time, about 3 or 4 kart lengths back, skipping over the apex there at the front of the kart. I think he just got up on the curb a little too much. Skipped the kart a couple steps, and then he was able to save it and continue on. Just behind him, that's Brian Williams running in kart number 75. Just behind him, the 15 of Riley Galladay as well, going down towards the start-finish straight into turn number 1. 2 minutes, or under 3 minutes to go, 2 minutes and 50 seconds remain plus 2 laps, and it looks like McCorkadale's best stride is going through turns 1, 2, and then right here up through turns 3. So I think Troy Toney gets a better run out of the south side hairpin than McCorkadale does, because he's able to pull out just a little bit more of a lead going down that back straightaway, though this time by McCorkadale's in the tow, and it looks like it's starting to wind up for him. Coming down into turn 6, does he try it here? He's thinking about it. He's let off just a little bit to set up a crossover move. Couldn't quite get it low enough there to get it done. So he's going to continue to follow here in the second position. So as of right now, Troy Toney out in front on that new gen Haas chassis, followed by McCorkadale on the Burrell Art CW in P number 2. They get back to Brian Williams, another new gen Haas chassis before Riley Galladay, a privateer, and Palmer Eicher Jr., privateer, Brendan McIntosh, privateer, Palmer Eicher, privateer, and Aaron Maxwell in an A-Max Racing entry. 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining plus 2 laps. And it looks like McCorkadale is best stride is going through turns 1, 2, and then right here up through turn 3. So I think Troy Toney gets a better run out of the south side hairpin than McCorkadale does, because he's able to pull out just a little bit more of a lead going down that back straightaway, though this time by McCorkadale's in the tow, and it looks like Troy Toney gets a better run out of the south side hairpin than McCorkadale does, because he's able to pull out just a little bit more of a lead going down that back straightaway to the front of the kart. And McCorkadale not close enough to make a move here. Couldn't quite get it low enough there to get it done. So he's going to continue to follow here in the second position. So as of right now, Troy Toney out in front on that new gen Haas chassis, followed by McCorkadale on the Burrell Art CW in P number 2. Out of the south side hairpin and down that back straightaway. Troy Tony may have some company here soon. F. McCorkadale went purple last time by. 47.897 for McCorkadale. Not close enough to make a move here to turn 6. I think his best opportunity might be right now. He got up on the inside. He's trying to pinch Tony off to the inside line, and he's now going to possibly set up for a dive bomb all over the track, snaking his way through to stay in the draft. Through that final corner, it looks like McCorkadale just holds a little bit narrower of a line. Troy Tony feeds it out to the wall to try to carry some more momentum through into turn 1. Right here's where McCorkadale's in his stride, coming up that hill out of the oval into turn 2. He's able to close up on the back bumper all the way through to the south side hairpin. Not close enough here, and I think he might just be trying to learn where Troy Tony is faster than him. It appears to be the exit of turn 8 all the way down into turn 1, but now here he goes. Here comes McCorkadale to the inside. Does he send it here? Does he have enough in it? He backs it off, holds the inside line. Not quite clear. They're still door to door. Tony is going to have to take the inside line. McCorkadale has the opportunity for a crossover, and he goes straight to the back bumper. So he didn't have enough to get it done there. Takes a little bit narrower of a line, goes straight to the toe of Troy Tony out front. Down towards the start finish straight into turn number 1, and McCorkadale just didn't have enough to get it done there. So he's going to have to follow. Again, we're looking at 30 seconds to go, so next time by should be 3 laps. So we're working 3 laps to go now, 2 laps to go next time by. Out of the south side hairpin and towards Daytona corner they go. McCorkadale lost a little bit of time. He's down by about 4 kart lengths. Not close enough to make a move here into turn 6 like he did before, and it's actually down to about 5 or 6 kart lengths. Into turn 6, Troy Tony has got a clean line through, but McCorkadale just closes up a little bit more and has a little bit of a better run through turn 7. Here comes that accordion effect. They're starting to bunch back up slowly. Tony takes the higher line, able to unwind that gear ratio and get a better run towards this front straightaway into turn 1. Troy Tony up on that wheel through the oval, but it just looks like it goes to the better hands. McCorkadale through the tighter sections over into turn 2. He's on the back bumper here. Not close enough to get it done into the south side. He has to get a good run here if he wants a chance. He takes a little bit of a narrow line, keeps it clean. He's still in the toe through Daytona, so this is reminiscent of what we saw 2 laps before. Does he try it here? I think he's just going to close back up to him, gets to the bumper, backs off just a little bit before Tony does to get a better run out of turn 6. Tries it again, tries to force Tony to the inside line. Tony able to keep that momentum, and now here comes McCorkadale. Does he send it turn 8? He does. Crossover from Tony, possibly straight to the back bumper, down into turn 1. Does Tony have enough for an answer into turn 1? He does not. He stays in the toe, and this is McCorkadale's strong suit right here to turn 2. He's able to loosen up that back end just a little bit more, but Tony's now got the draft, a little bit of a run. Troy Tony take it back here. He's going to attempt for it. McCorkadale knows it's coming. He tries for a crossover. They're going to go side by side through Daytona, and they do. McCorkadale in the grass, able to get around Troy Tony. Troy Tony yields now for second, but now he's going to have her on the outside, and Tony's not too happy. I don't think McCorkadale is either. They're door-to-door through 6, and what's Tony going to do here? He holds the inside. He tries to hold that inside line. McCorkadale's going to send it deep again, and he's not going to have enough. Gets a bumper into him. They both get a little loose, and it's not going to be enough for him. So Troy Tony going to take the win here this afternoon, and I think he may have been telling McCorkadale that he was number 1 going towards the start-finish straight. Checkered flag is out, and that will do it. Troy Tony takes the win. McCorkadale P2, Williams P3, Palmer Eicher comes across in P4, and Riley Galladay rounds out the top 5 here for your 206 Senior Heavy. So that will do it for Senior Heavy. Up next is going to be your K8 Junior, and you're watching live here on Kart Chaser Grassroots.
Right here. He's thinking about it. He's went off just a little bit to send him across over me. Here comes McCorkadale to the inside. Does he send it here? Does he have enough? Not quite clear. They're still door to door. Tony's going to have to take the inside line. McCorkle has the opportunity for a crossover, and he goes straight to the back bumper. He's got too happy. I don't think McCorkle will win it. McCorkle will win either. They're going through stick. And what's Tony going to do here? He holds the inside. He tries to hold that inside line. McCorkle is going to send it deep again. And he's not going to have enough. Gets the bumper into him. They both get a little loose.
We're at a commercial brick.
And we're about to get set to go here for your KA Juniors down into turn number 1. And it looks like it's going to be a clean getaway there for the top 3 as here comes Dane Van Dyke up on the inside. He's got his elbows out. He's played second baseman almost all season long here to the MPG car out in front of Landon Brewer. And right now he looks like a man on a mission trying to get around quickly. But right in front of his way is that top car USA entry, the 64 Mason Gallion. Just in front of him is Landon Brewer, your leader, going down now into the Southside Hairpin. Again, these are going to be 5 minutes plus 2 laps in distance here for your KA Junior. Down towards the back straightaway they go. Landon Brewer has got the lead so far over Mason Gallion and Van Dyke in P3. Just behind him is Lucian Laser in P4, followed by the rest of the field now down into turn number 7. And oh, here we go, Van Dyke. Looked like he may have just kissed the side pod there of Mason Gallion in the 64 top car. Down the front straight they go. Van Dyke, he wins that position. I think he's going to have it here into turn 1, and he takes it. Count Van Dyke up into P2, and he's going to try to go down and hunt Landon Brewer going down this little quick crossover heading over into turn number 2. Through turn 2 they go, and down towards the back straightaway, and it looks like Van Dyke might be slowly closing in on Landon Brewer. Brewer got his head down, looks back, and thought to himself, uh-oh, this is probably the only driver in the field so far that's been able to hold pace, and he looks like a determined driver right now as he's about to set it up on the inside here of Landon Brewer possibly. He's just there. He's close enough. I think this is the closest he's been in a long while. That kart set on attack mode from the drop of the green. Now taking it down into turn number 1, heading up over into turn 2, and he continues to just work on that back bumper of Landon Brewer. Last time by, Van Dyke went purple, 43.115. Brewer 43.325. And here we go, up on the back bumper again. Goes Van Dyke. Does he try it here into turn 6? Oh, I think he does. And so does Brewer. He knows it's coming. He goes on the defensive. Van Dyke tries high, tries low. He gets a little loose there mid-corner, and he's going to slow it down just a little bit. Meanwhile, that defensive move there by Landon Brewer has allowed Mason Gawley into that Top Kart USA entry to close back up. So Landon Brewer out in front on the MPG KR entry P1. Van Dyke Privateer on an OTK Cosmic in P2. And then Mason Gawley currently P3 on a Top Kart USA entry. And it looks like as well, Lucian Laser just lost a position. So that is now going to be a 3-kart tango out in front. And it looks like Van Dyke might be starting to pull away from Mason Gawley along with Landon Brewer. Last time by, Brewer went purple, 43.114. Even with that defensive move, Van Dyke 43.242, so he's not losing a whole lot of time that last time by, just over a tenth of a second in total, and it looks like he's starting to close back up again. I don't think he's going to have a chance here into turn 1, but he might have it going into 6 of next lap. 2 minutes and 14 seconds plus 2 laps to go. Down into turn 1, Van Dyke gets a little bit of a wider arc going through that turn 1-2 complex. Now on this back straightaway, he's down by about 2, possibly 3 kart lengths through the quick little crossover, heading towards the south side hairpin. Landon Brewer gets a little bit of a tighter line through there. This is going to be good news for Van Dyke. He's going to have the toe to his advantage, a little bit more momentum. Down this back straightaway, continues to close, and he's right there going into turn 6. Couldn't get it done that time, but if he can keep it clean another lap, he might have an opportunity either here going into turn 1 or next time by going into turn 6. A minute and 20 seconds plus 2 laps to go. And Van Dyke got a wheel up on the curb. That just upset the kart a little too much. Lost about a half a car length going down that front straightaway. Now into turn 1. He's still closing in on him. That later lunge that he takes into turn 1, taking that later line, allows him to pull a little bit better than Landon Brewer going down into turn 2. Now to the south side hairpin they go, down this back little short chute towards the Daytona corner, heading down the back straightaway, and he's still closing in ever so slightly. Thought about making a lunge there on the inside into turn 6, couldn't quite get it done. Now he's going to have to sit and follow just from behind the leader out in front of the 820 of Landon Brewer. Swings a little wide there, went Van Dyke. Almost thought about trying to make a move there last second, but he decides to stay in the toe going down towards turn 1. 21 seconds to go, so we're looking at about 3 laps, so 2 to go next time by. Up the hill they go out of turn 2, now towards a crossover. Landon Brewer still leading the way over Van Dyke as they make their way into the south side hairpin there. And it looks like Van Dyke got a little bit of a poor run than Landon Brewer did. Look at the times. Last time by, Landon Brewer went a 42.594, Van Dyke 42.529. So a little bit faster last time by. The fastest kart on track was Van Dyke there that last time. So now let's see what it is currently. I think Landon Brewer is going to have just a little bit more than Van Dyke this time by. Van Dyke doesn't touch the curb there that through turn 8, and I think that's going to help him now down this front straightaway. Double sticks will be in the air, 2 laps to go. I have a feeling Van Dyke's going to take the lunge whenever possible here to just try to hold Landon Brewer at bay and have a chance to start on the pole position. Over into the south side hairpin, not enough to get it done, but he closes that gap up severely, and he's right on the back bumper. Landon Brewer, if you're going to go on the defensive, now's the time to do it. He's got the normal racing line. Let's see the shot down the back straightaway going into turn 1. Here comes Van Dyke. He's got it. Van Dyke has the position for now. Look for a crossover from Landon Brewer. He goes straight to the back bumper, actually. He doesn't go on the crossover move. And now they're going to go door to door over to turn 8. Can Landon Brewer roll the outside line? No, he's going to have to sit there in that second position going down into turn number 1. White flag in the air. Can Van Dyke try to break the streak for Landon Brewer of getting perfect sweeps of the weekend here for the KA Junior? He's got about 3/4 of a lap to go. down towards the south side hairpin. It is now going to be in the draft of Landon Brewer. So can Brewer close up here on the back straightaway? Well, Van Dyke knows he's fast. He's down to the bottom parts of the track. Here comes Brewer trying to set him up for crossover. Van Dyke goes wide. Brewer's also forced wide. They're still door to door. Brewer's got the inside line. Can Van Dyke hold the outside? No. It's going to go to Landon Brewer. They're still going to go door to door. Contact! And then a little loose. Go both of them. They're going to go side by side to the line. And Landon Brewer holds position to see the checkered flag. And he will start on pole position for the feature this afternoon. Dane Van Dyke comes across in P2, and Mason Gullion rounds out your top 3. That'll do it for the KA Junior category for the heat race. Up next is your 206 Light, set to take the green here shortly to set the feature for the race this afternoon.
We're about to get good to go here for your KA Juniors down into 10 over 1. And it looks like it's going to be a clean getaway there for the top 3. And so does Brewer. He knows it's coming. He goes over the fences. Van Dyke tries high, tries back. Here comes Brewer trying to set him up for crossover. Van Dyke goes wide. Brewer's also forced wide. Oh, it's going to go to Landon Brewer. They're still going to go to the contact. And it's a little loose.
So you finally want to get behind the wheel, huh?
Yeah, I've been shooting for 3 years and I've never got to drive.
Well, you're going to need some more gear than just your helmet. Why don't you go to shopakr.com. They got their inventory online and they'll ship it the same day if you order before 5:30 p.m. Eastern.
They got shoes?
Yep.
Gloves?
Yep.
Rip protectors?
Got those too.
Can they make me go fast?
No.
Here at Acceleration Kart Racing, we've got everything you need to get on track. What happens next? Well, that's on you. Check us out online at shopakr.com.
Inline braking.
And here we go. This is the 206 light category, one of the premium events we have here this afternoon. Green flag is out, and Howerton's going to take the point. Here comes Fox. He's trying to put his elbows up for that second position. Now he's trying to go for the lead. Get a little bit of a push there from Wilbur. Wilbur got his nose into him, but got one off the track over out of turn number 7. But it looks like everyone back underway under their own power. And now Howerton's going to lead the way. So now it's Howerton, Fox, Heber, and I believe Gage Justinato up into P4, Wilbur in P5 as they make their way now out of turns 2, heading into 3. Does anyone try to take a shot here into the south side hairpin? It looks like Wilbur will. He got around Justinato. Now they're going to go door to door through Daytona Corner, just a little bit farther back from those two. They're still side by side on the exit, and they're all bunched up from that second pack on back. Top 3 still nose to tail, playing it pretty smart so far of Howerton and Fox. Heber right there, just getting a toe off the top 2. Now they're going to go door to door again. Johnson goes up into P4. Brayton Johnson goes up into the one more position, and I believe that's going to knock Wilbur and company farther on back. Wilbur's going to lose 2 spots, actually. I think he lost one as well to Justinato. So Brayton Johnson to 4th. Johnson to 4th, Justinato 5th, Wilbur in 6th, Peebles in 7th. But your top 3 still nose to tail. Howerton, Fox, and Heber. So out of the south side hairpin they go, down towards that back straightaway through Daytona. And I don't think we're going to see any passing here inside the top 2. I think Fox is content to push with Howerton. They've worked well together almost all season long. I think the only wild card here is Brayton Heber. If he can get his nose in and try to break up the draft to the top 2, Heber on the Burrell Art CW running in the 3rd position. His closest teammate to him right now, I believe, is Levi Wilbur in the 6th position on a Burrell Art CW. So as it sits now, top 2 trying to push themselves away. Heber looks like he's just holding on to the draft to stay up with the leaders right now, down by about 2 or 3 kart lengths, and then that's the big pack. That is 3rd on back, being led by Brayton Johnson, the 26 on the AMAX, right there in P3, and then Gage Justinato, I believe, also AMAX before he gets a P6 of Wilbur on a CW Burrell Art. Looks like we have one off over on the exit turn number 2. Hopefully the driver can get their, they're taking their equipment off, so unfortunately their day has come to an end. But meanwhile, this is that battle we were watching back there. That was a battle for 4th. Now here's a battle for the lead. Now here's a battle for the lead again. So that is Howerton out front over Fox in P2. Heber just right there, about 2 or 3 car lengths down, just trying to hold on to that draft. He's closing up a little bit there through the tighter parts of the section, but just the 2 out in front have worked so well together and they know each other. That is between Gage Justinato, that middle cart in the purple, with Wilbur just behind, and that CW Burrell Art P number 6 just ahead is Brayton Johnson leading that second pack. And it looks like Johnson might slowly be starting to set sail and pull away, but that draft just pulls everyone else back up to him. Looking at under 2 minutes to go. We're a minute and just at 2 minutes to go here with 3 minutes and 18 seconds in. Top 2 still Howerton on a iCart out front, and then Fox looked like he tried to set him up for a pass there going into turn 1 on the new Jim Haas chassis in P2. That's not Justinato, that's Brayton Heber on the CW Burrell Art there in the 3rd position. The rest of the field, though, starting to get bunched up. That's between Johnson, Justinato, and Wilbur. So 1, 2, 3, and here comes Heber. Heber closing up now into that 3-pack out in front. I think Fox making that attempt on the exit of turn 8 allowed him to close up. Is he going to go for it now? I think he's content on just waiting. He wants the top 2 to pull him away from that second group, because right now he's guaranteed to start on the inside of row number 2 if he just maintains the spot. I'm sure he'd love to get on the front podium. However, starting in 3rd is a heck of a lot better than starting in 4th or 5th. So he's going to be content here right behind Fox, I think, as we're looking at about a minute and 13 seconds left to go before we see 2 laps. Right now across the stripe, we're going to come across right at a minute, 45 seconds. So I believe they're going to see 2 to go this next time by. and Fox may make an attempt here or there. I think he's going to be okay with waiting until the last lap to try to make a move. As of right now, they're both guaranteed on the front row. Or if you really want to play mind games, if you're Eli Fox, you let Hebert go by for second, and then that way when you start in the front row, you know who you're working with. Your ally is there on the front row, and he'd be sitting there behind him in third, and they could push each other in through turn 6, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think they both want to try to go for it here and see if they can't make their way up towards the starting spot. We're looking at about 4 minutes, 5 minutes now, and 2 laps are shown. So time expired just before they got to the line. 5 minutes and 6 seconds have been completed so far, and now we're going to watch the top 3. Does Hebert try to break up the top 2 and move himself up onto the front row? Or does Fox try to make a attempt or 2 to get around Howerton to go for pole position? Remember, they're both going for the championship here for the 206 senior light, and every point counts when he can get it. Howerton looks back, so does Fox, see where Hebert's at, and then there it is. You saw Howerton point forward and Fox point forward as well. They both want to try to get away from Braden Hebert so that they do start battling on the last lap. Then they won't have much to worry about, so to speak, with real estate between the two of them. But I think possibly Fox might just be content pushing the entire time as we're coming up on the white flag now. Fox, after the hand signals made to each other, I don't think if an opportunity obviously presents itself, he may take it, but I think he is totally fine just getting to the front row with Howerton here to start the feature this afternoon. Into the south side hairpin. Fox doesn't make an attempt. He goes a little bit lower than Howerton. Howerton's going to have a better run through Daytona, but that draft's going to close Eli Fox back up to him. He takes a peek back. They both do not look behind him at all, so I don't think Howerton is worried about Fox making a move here. Going into turn 7, only about 2 more attempts to go if Fox wants to make it. He seems to be backing off just a little bit, so I think he's okay with running in second. So this might do it unless it's a photo finish. Fox opens up to the inside line. They're going to go door to door. There they go towards the stripe. Who's going to get it, Howerton or Fox? Fox barely gets him at the stripe. How about that? Played it patient till the last corner. Eli Fox gets the heat win here for 206 senior light. 0.065 is the difference between himself and Jared Howerton. Braden Hebert comes across in P3. Levi Wilbur in 4th. Braden Johnson in 5th. Gage Justinato 6th. Kyler Peebles 7th. Dylan Howerton in 8th. Dominic Stancombe in 9th. Ethan Williams 10th. Raider Santos 11th. Nick Patton in 12th. Keegan Day 13th. And Gunner rounds out the field in 14th. So that's going to do it for your 206 senior light. Next time we see you guys on track, we're going to go feature racing, starting with 206 Supermaster.
To pull him away from that second group, because right now you're guaranteed point forward and spot.
Welcome to the Kart Indianapolis experience at Whiteland Raceway Park. Indy's premier outdoor karting circuit, Whiteland Raceway Park is just 20 minutes south of downtown Indy and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Our trackside event center and high-speed go-karts make Whiteland Raceway Park the perfect destination for your next event or party. Stop in today or book your race online at racewrp.com and experience real racing right here in Indy.
We're at a commercial break.
you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
All right, before we get things going here, if we can ask everyone to rise and stand for the playing of our national anthem. If you're in 206 Supermasters, your driver needs to be to your karts as we're about to get going here shortly. Green flag is out for your 206 Supermasters, and it is going to be Wilbur going to the front now. Trying to hold off the lead. Here comes Tom Harleman on the outside. He's wasting no time after the heartbreak of a start that he had at the start of the heat race. He is now trying to make up for it and go as quick as he can to get up to the back bumper of Wilbur. Down towards the start-finish straight to puts lap number 1, relatively speaking, registered into the books. It is now Travis Wilbur P1, Williams P2, or sorry, McLaughlin P2, Harleman P3. That is your top 3 breakdown. It looks like Harleman already on the back bumper of Mr. Top Kart himself, Billy McLaughlin in P2. Scott Galladay in P number 4, Joseph Stevens P5, Richard Lowe in P6. That is your breakdown. There you go, your top 3 into turn number 1. Wilbur making his way through now, and it looks like equal spacing inside the top 3 between Wilbur, McLaughlin, and Harleman. There goes Wilbur, leading it down into turn number 8. Giant inputs into the wheel. Looks like he might be struggling for grip here early on. Typically, his car is set to come in a little bit later in the future event. However, with the sun being out as it is and the clouds starting to part, the track is heating up quicker than normal. so he might be struggling just a little bit. And it also looked like Harleman got a little loose there into turn 2. Harleman was all over the back bumper. McLaughlin now appears to be falling off just a little bit. Last time by, Wilbur went a 49.2, McLaughlin 50 flat. Harleman went a 50.9, so he lost significant amount of time in that last rotation around the circuit. So now it looks like it might be McLaughlin trying to reel in Wilbur. Might be the story to watch now. It looks like Harleman may have plateaued there in P3. He's got a lot of breathing room behind him, roughly about 1.9, almost 2 seconds between himself and Scott Galladay in the 4th position. Meanwhile, in front, he's down by about 1.2 seconds to McLaughlin running in P2. Lap number 2 in the books, 48.4 for Wilbur, 48.9 for McLaughlin, 51.0 for Harleman. I'm not sure if Harleman's having issues, but he's fallen off the pace significantly. Typically, you see the second lap to be way faster than the first. Right now, it appears that he's actually falling off just a little bit. I mean, he went about a tenth slower. However, with the tires coming in as quick as they do when the sun's out, it might be a little concerning if you're Tom Harleman right now. You got to hold on just a little bit longer. Again, these are 10 minutes plus 2 laps, looking at about 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go. And as of right now, Wilbur pulled out another half second over McLaughlin there in the 2nd position. Let's see if he's able to pick it up here in the opening stages. This time by across the stripe, Wilbur went a 48.3, McLaughlin 48.6. So he's shortening down the deficit as far as how much time he's losing per lap, but not in general. This time by, Harleman, he slowed it down again, 51.2. His fastest was the 50.9. Typically we see him well inside the 49s, if not 48s. And he's losing a little bit of time now. 1.1 second is all that's between himself and Scott Galladay now. Last time by, Galladay went a 50.7. Harleman with that 51.2. So it might be a heartbreak again for Harleman if he continues to lose time like this and possibly a position here. But we're going to just now, since things are starting to get so spread out, we're just going to have to sit and watch the times and the gaps between all the drivers on track. Travis Wilbur comes across the line recently. He went a 50.53. McLaughlin went a little bit faster, 58.529. So he finally was able to get a lap off a little bit faster than Wilbur did. Granted, it's not significant. He needs about another 0.2 per lap on Wilbur if he wants to close up the 2.3 second deficit that he has now. By the time he is exiting the Daytona corner, Wilbur is just now entering into the turn 6-7 complex. So McLaughlin's got his work cut out for him if he wants to close back up. And it's all just a matter now for us of just watching the times and seeing if anything significant happens. Looks like Tim Guff is already a lap down now to Travis Wilbur, so that might help out McLaughlin if he's able to get around quicker than Wilbur was. This time across the stripe, Wilbur went a 58.3. McLaughlin had an answer, 48.153. So McLaughlin went roughly 0.2 faster than Wilbur, and he's picking up the pace now. He went purple. He's the fastest kart registered on track so far. Now he's got the deficit down to 2.1 seconds, so he's starting to pick up the pace a little bit. That could be Wilbur deciding to set it on cruise control, relatively speaking, to just maintain his time and his pace. But it looks like McLaughlin may have set that kart up to come in a little bit later in this feature event so far. We're looking at about 4 minutes, just under 5 minutes in, as we were 5 minutes over. So we were at the halfway point before we see 2 laps to go. Let's put one more lap into the books and see what Wilbur's able to do. 48.483. What does McLaughlin do? 48.9. So now McLaughlin's starting to slow it back down again. So now the deficit up to about 2.5 seconds between the two of them, as we are going to, again, just consider some monitor these times. Let's look at Tom Harleman. Harleman was able to pick up the pace a little bit, but he just lost a position now. He's actually lost 2. Harleman back into P5, sitting at, count that, P6. Last time he went a 50.923, and I don't think he actually came across the stripe that last time by, and he didn't. He has come to a stop on the mid-corner here at turn 7. He's taken off his equipment, and unfortunately I think his day's over. So heartbreaking to see that for Tom Harleman. Man, he had bad luck in the heat race, and then it just presided over into the feature. Hopefully we can see him back here so he can redeem his title. I believe he has multiple podiums here at WRP. Better competitor that we've seen in the Supermaster division. And Yeah, heartbreaking. Just all around weekend. Let's switch back over now. This is Travis Wilbur out in front. Gap is about 2.4 seconds last time by. Wilbur did a 48.7. McLaughlin did a 48.6, so about a 10th better. McLaughlin went to Wilbur. McLaughlin still holds the fastest time on track now with a 48.153. Fastest lap for Wilbur was a 48.337. There's Wilbur now going into the final corner. As we continue to sit here and just watch the gap, as we are looking at 3 minutes and 5 seconds to go plus 2 laps. Last time by, Wilbur did a 48.5, McLaughlin 48.4, so 1/10 better. Wilbur was over McLaughlin. Gap now at 2.402 seconds between the two of them. The gap between Wilbur and Richard Lowell is about 17.8 seconds between himself and Scott Galloway. 20.8 seconds. Stevens 25.8. So a commanding run here from Travis Wilbur so far, as he taking a switch over here. Looks like there's a battle further on back. I believe that may be between Wesley Bullock and Joseph Stevens. Was the battle you're watching on your screen there. The 26 of Wesley Bullock and the 50 of Joseph Stevens. As Wilbur puts another lap into the books, he won a 48.4. McLaughlin, again, went a little bit faster than last time by, 48.195. They seem to just go back and forth of who's going to have the fastest lap each time. We got yellow flags out over into turn 2. That is the 26 of Wesley Bullock, who slowed it down almost to a stop going into the south side hairpin. Wilbur taking a peek back. I think that may have slowed down the momentum a little bit. It's now Here's McLaughlin's trying to get around lap traffic going into turn number 6. He was able to do that, and I think that gap's slowly starting to come down even more so. Let's take a look at it. Last time by, 2.14 seconds was the difference between McLaughlin and Wilbur. Let's see it this time by. Wilbur just not coming across the stripe. His time, 49.730. What does McLaughlin do? 50.7. They both slowed down, but it looks like Wilbur able to open up the gap again. 3.1 seconds separates the two of them. So Wilbur doing a good job getting through lap traffic and just biding his time until this race comes to a conclusion. Now, we're looking all the way throughout the field. It's been Travis Wilbur out in front this entire race so far. Currently sitting at a 2.6 second gap, so the time actually come down just a little bit. Last time by, Wilbur went a 49.3. McLaughlin, 48.8. So McLaughlin starting to reel him back in as the time's about to click midnight, though, and expire. So we're about to see 2 laps to go here for Travis Wilbur. Wilbur doesn't have any lap traffic in front of him, so that could be good news for him if he can just continue to turn clean laps. Oh, we got a kart stopped. Looks like off over on the main straightaway. Yellow flag is out for the 25 of Tim Guff. Came to a stop there, and he has, it looks like the kart is beached going into the transition between the new parts of the track and the old. And there's a good shot of it. That's one of our track marshals making sure that he's okay. And I believe he might be trying to refire the kart. It's up on a banking right there. I don't think it's going to go very far if he does get restarted. There he is. He is climbing out of the kart, so hopefully we can get him in a safe part of the track. But unfortunate to see for the 25 there of Tim Guff. Coming to a stop here, he's going to be registered in P9 out of 10. So unfortunate to see there as well. Let's switch back over. Here is your top 2. Going into the right-hander of turn 6 is Travis Wilbur, sitting at a 2.6 second advantage over your second placement of McLaughlin at a last time by, McLaughlin did a 48.8. Wilbur did a 48.7. So let's watch it here on this final lap. White flag is about to be shown here to Travis Wilbur. One more time by before he can claim victory at Whiteland Raceway Park here on this June afternoon. Down into turns 1 and 2 complex for the final time over the crest of the hill of the transition between the old and the new parts of the track. coming down into the south side hairpin for the final time. Gets a wheel up in the air. A little too aggressive there on the turn, but hey, he's got some time to burn. Down towards the Daytona corner, to the back straightaway for the final time as the shadows are starting to creep their way across the track. Over into turn 6 for the final time as McLaughlin goes all the way down to the bottom of the track. Here comes Wilbur through turn 6 for the final time, over into Big Bend of turn 7. Into the short chute between 7 and an 8, and through turn 8 for the final time. He led from the start. He's trying to do a sweep of the weekend, and he will. Travis Wilbur takes the win here this afternoon for your 206 Supermaster Final. McLaughlin is going to bring it on home in P2. Mr. Top Car USA himself brings it across the line, and Richard Lowell is going to finish in that 3rd position as he is just now making his way into the final corner. So that is going to do it here for your top 3. Richard Lowell comes across, and he will receive 3rd place on the podium here this afternoon. And that will conclude our 206 Supermaster Final event. We want to thank you all who participated in this event. As we move forward on to the next one, it's going to be your minis and your micros set to take green on track here next. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere as you are watching Grass Crew's Kart Chaser. This is the Indy Karting Challenge sponsored by NKA. Green flag is out for your micros making their way into turn number 6 for the first time. And it looks like we have a new leader. It is going to be Chase Call up on point now for the first time all weekend long. As now Reagan Hodges is going to have to go to work and see if she can't make her way back around that top cart chassis down into turn number 1. Does she try it on the outside line? I think she might. Does she get it cleared? No, she's going to pull back down into line and follow right behind Chase. Is now Chase getting a little bit of a push there coming up the hill, heading towards the south side hairpin. Does Reagan try it here? It looks like no. She's going to stay right on the back bumper of Chase as they make their way towards Daytona corner now. Just behind her is Lit Simonellik in that 3rd position. Reagan had a quick peek there to the inside going down into turn number 6. Does she get it done here? She's later on the braking. Goes around the outside line. Not quite able to get it done there. Does she try it here into 7? Thought about it. Gives a little bit of a push. Now it's going to go to the outside line. And she's going to have to follow again. So Chase Call, I believe, is going to lead this lap. Here comes Reagan. Does she try it on the inside this time? Not able to get there. She goes wide again into turn 1, trying to set him up over into turn 2. Goes straight to the back bumper, gets a little loose, and now continues over. As you can see, our flagman on the electric scooter trying to get his way back from the start line to the finish line. And, I mean, hey, that's E for effort right there for him. Doing a fantastic job all weekend long. I'm just giving him crap. We love Adam Boris. We appreciate all that he's done for us throughout all the seasons, and he is one of the best flagmen here across the country. As we look down into turn number 1, and Reagan goes wide again, trying to see if she can't set up Chase for a better pass over into 7. She can't get it done. Now goes down to the back straightaway here, over into turn number 8, wide again. So she is working that back bumper of Chase Call going down into turn number 1. Goes to the outside line. It looks like she's just trying to work that high line through turn 1 to set up over into turn 2. Simonellik there in that 3rd position is just watching these two go back and forth here as she tries it possibly in the south side hairpin. No. Lit might try it here, Lit is just sitting there and watching there in that 3rd position. It looks like Reagan might try it here. She's giving a huge push to Chase Call going down into turn 6. Tries to go side by side, coming into 7 possibly, is going to pop back up into line and stay in the tow. And again, just continues to give a big push there to Chase Call out in front, trying to see if they can't get some breathing room away from the 3rd placement of Simonellik there in P3. Down into turn 1, did she get it here? She's on the outside line, almost up against the barrier, rolls it into turn 1, now tries it up the hill. No, she struggles again to try to get to that outside line, then inside line of Chase Call going up into turn 2. Trying it here into 3. She thought about popping down for a moment. Continues to stay on the back bumper, but she's going to have to follow Chase Call again through Daytona corner down this back straightaway. So down the back straightaway they go, heading over into turn 6. And I believe she might try to do a crossover. No, she's going to send it up on the inside now. Does Reagan have it? She's going to park it up on the inside line, and she takes the position. Does Chase try it? He thought about it. Unfortunately, not going to be enough. Reagan Hodges goes straight to the point. Chase Call is going to have to tuck into the toe and follow her now into turn 1 as Reagan, who was on a dominating run all weekend long, might see if she can't pull away here from Chase Call. It looks like she's slowly starting to. And it looks like the pack now is starting to get spread out as we're looking at 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go here. Now she's slowly starting to pull away from Chase Call in that Top Kart USA entry in P2. Lit Simonellik is a privateer in that Kart 40 along with Reagan Hodges in Kart 33. So looks like they're all starting to get themselves spaced out. Ooh, a little wide there went Chase Call on the entry of turn 6. So they're just going to settle in here, continue to turn laps. And again, this is what this class is meant for. This is the stepping stone that you take from kit karts going up the order. If you want to go to the 2-cycle route, the equivalent for this on the 4-cycle would be the 206 cadet program like we saw ran earlier today. So it's just the equivalent of it in the different editions. Some people prefer the 4-cycle, some people prefer the 2-cycle. Different opportunities all the way through, but both amazing packages if you want to try to make your way up into the karting world. As we look back, and it looks like Lit Simonellik might be trying to see if he can't make a move here on Chase Call, going down this back straightaway, heading over into Daytona corner. Through Daytona they go. There goes Reagan Hodges, opened up a 1.4 second gap. Let's see if Simon Ellick decides to try it here. He's still following, backs off a little bit early, going into turn 6 as we switch back over to Reagan now, going into turn 7. And Simon Ellick continues to just follow back there in that 3rd position. He's trying to set up a crossover move on Chase Call there for P2. And looks like Lit is going to continue to follow now all over the back bumper of Chase Call up the hill into turn 2, heading over now towards that crossover, heading towards the south side hairpin. And it looked like Liette thought about trying to make a move there into the south side hairpin, couldn't quite get it done. Is going to continue to sit back and follow Chase Call here as we're looking at about 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go, plus 2 laps. We're going to crank it up here and listen to the sound of these 2-cycle engines wind out here at Whiteland Raceway Park as the pack continues to spread out. Up on track next, we got the counterpart to the micros. It's the minis set to take track next here for their 10 minutes plus 2 laps feature event as these two continue just to go back and forth. So we're going to crank it up here and sit back and watch these kiddos as they're just learning their ways of karting right now. Again, this is the stepping stone to make their way up through the series. 2 laps to go here. Reagan Hodges out in front, running a 47.021 for her previous lap. As here comes Liette trying to see if he can't make a move on the inside. So doing some statistical analysis up here during that quick little break, we discovered that Reagan Hodges was actually 2/10 off of the median time for the minis. So even with the restrictor, yes, they're a little bit lighter, but with her skill set right now, she is running almost similar times to what the front runners are running in the mini division. So that's very impressive to see from her so far. And she's putting on a commanding run. 15 seconds, almost 16 seconds, she has pulled from Chase and Liette throughout the time of this micro race as she continues on. I'm sure she's going to have a very predominant career if she continues on this path. She's been impressive since she was in kit karts, and she is showing it now in the micros to make their way through. White flag is out as Liette tries to sit up on the inside there of Chase Call. He gets a little wide, almost dips a wheel, but somehow able to hold on to it. So it looks like Chase Call is going to hold on to that second position. White flag is in the air for your front runner, Reagan Hodges, who's put on a clinic so far. She won pole position, she won the heat race, and now she's trying to do a sweep in both classes, in cadet and micro. Coming down to the line should be white flag, sorry, checkered flag in air. Reagan Hodges wins in Micro Swift. So Reagan is going to take the win this afternoon. Next up to the line, let's see Chase Call and Liette Simonellic. Do they have a side-by-side run down to the line? Making the way through the last corner. Looks like Liette doesn't have enough. Chase Call holds on to P2. Liette comes across in third. So that will do it for Micro Swift. Up next will be your minis, set to take their 10-minute plus 2-lap feature event, coming to you live here on Kart Chaser Grassroots.
Welcome to the Kart Indianapolis experience at Whiteland Raceway Park. Indy's premier outdoor karting circuit, Whiteland Raceway Park is just 20 minutes south of downtown Indy and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Our trackside event center and high-speed go-karts make Whiteland Raceway Park the perfect destination for your next event or party. Stop in today or book your race online at racewrp.com and experience real racing right here in Indy. Welcome to the Kart Indianapolis experience at Whiteland Raceway Park. Indy's premier outdoor karting circuit, Whiteland Raceway Park is just 20 minutes south of downtown Indy and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Our trackside event center and high-speed go-karts make Whiteland Raceway Park the perfect destination for your next event or party. Stop in today or book your race online at racewrp.com and experience real racing right here in Indy.
Green flag is out for your minis down into turn number 1. They're going to go side by side all the way through, and it looks like Titus Roberts is going to hold on to the lead. Here comes Dominic Gaddis trying to roll that outside line to turn 2, and a little bit of contact made there between teammates. I believe that was Will Feichtinger, who possibly maybe almost got his nose taken off there going in to that final turn complex, but is going to hold on to it and settle in to P4. So Dominic Gaddis able to get up to the front. Titus Roberts settles into P2. P3 goes to Austin Taylor. P4 of Will Feichtinger. P6, Lincoln Wiley. P6, Bentley McCain. P7, Dalton Sears. And in 8th position is Kason Hendrickson. So down this run, and oh, a little loose there. Went Austin Taylor. He sent it late, locked him up, and somehow able to hold on to position. He even tried to see if he could roll the outside line onto Titus Roberts, and now Roberts going on the defensive. Let's see if Austin Taylor over the bumps there into turn 8. Down this front straightaway they go. He's got his teammate behind him. Will Feistinger behind him is given just a little bit of an assistance there going into turn 1, and that might be all that he needs to try to get around Titus Roberts. As of right now, Roberts is preventing a lockout here from all the MPG Kart Republics that are in the 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 7th position so far. And now down this back straightaway, Titus Roberts has got to run, and he is pushing hard onto the back bumper of Dominic Gaddis into turn number 6. Out of turn 6 they go, and now here comes Austin Taylor. He's got a good run, and he's closing into the top 3. Does he try to take it here? He peaks out a little bit higher than Titus Roberts, but right now he's going to plateau in that 3rd position. Down towards turns 1 and 2, heading over towards that turn 2-3 complex before making the run over to the south side hairpin. Up the hill they go, and they're going to drop down into this banking into the south side hairpin. It looks like they're going to bunch back up 1, 2, 3. Gaddis, Roberts, and Taylor now go through the Daytona corner, and let's see it here. Here comes Roberts. He's getting a huge push there from Taylor. Taylor's going to push him clean by his teammate, and he's going to move Gaddis from 1st to 3rd. Gaddis puts his elbows out. He's trying to hold on to 2nd. He can't get it done. Austin Taylor up into 2nd. Titus Roberts to the point. Here comes Taylor again. He tries to send it on the over-under, gets a small run on the inside line, decides better of it, and goes straight to the back bumper of Dominic Gaddis as they make their way into the bowl corner of turn 1. Austin Taylor had a moment where he thought he was going to set it up on the outside line, heading over to the south side hairpin. He thought better of it. He's going to stay right in the toe of Roberts. Through Daytona, Taylor's got to run. Does he take it? It looks like possibly he thought about it for a moment, but he's going to stay right in line. There goes Will Feistinger to get around Dominic Gaddis, so count Will up 1 more position into P3. And that's going to push Gaddis back down into the 4th spot. Just in front of him, or behind him I should say, is Bentley McCain. Meanwhile, the top 2 slowly starting to break away from the rest of the field. Roberts still out in P1 on that new Jet Moss chassis. Just behind him, Austin Taylor working hard on the back bumper, trying to see maybe if he can build up a gap, but I think now he just wants to try to get around. He's got all of his teammates behind him who are lined up and would love to take their crack at a podium position right now. But Taylor going a little wide there on the eggs of the south side hairpin, and it looks like he will not have a run heading down over into turn number 6. So they're still going to go nose to tail down into turn 6, now over into turn 7. So through turn 7 they go. Still Taylor out in that 2nd position with Roberts in P1. Down this back or front straightaway heading into turn 1. It looks like Taylor is not going to take it here. 5 minutes and 40-some seconds plus 2 laps still yet to go. Austin Taylor on that back bumper of Titus Roberts down into turn 6. Does he try it here? He thought about it for a moment. He got straight to the back bumper, and he's not going to have enough. He's going to try to set him up for a crossover move, forcing Titus to the inside line. Taylor's trying to do a crossover here into 7 possibly, not into 8. And it bounces a little bit wide there on the exit. I think he may have overplayed his hand there just for a moment. He had a good run set up for him, but now he's got to recoup what he lost and try to hold on to that toe of your leader of Titus Roberts. 5 minutes to go here as there's the rest of the field. That is your 3rd placement of Will Feistinger in the 3rd position. Dominic Gaddis in P4, Bentley McCain in P5, and Kason Hendrickson in P6. So there's a good shot of the field going down into turn 6-7 complex. That's still Titus Roberts out in front, Austin Taylor P2 over the rest of the field. In through turn 8, and it looks like Taylor's still holding on to it. He's going to try to run him back down. Last time by, it was down by about half a second. Now it's about 0.6 of a second, so kind of plateaued. But I think Taylor's starting to settle back down and close the gap back down to your leader of Titus Roberts. We're sitting at 4 minutes and 2 laps to go so far. In through the south side hairpin they go, and it looks like the rest of the field still knows a tail from behind as well. Top 2 now are closing up indeed. Again, that is your leader, Titus Roberts, out in front on that new gen entry. Just behind him, Austin Taylor on the MPG Kart Republic in P2. And that gap is starting to come back down. Taylor goes a little wide there. Looks like he's starting to possibly get a little loose there on the exit of turn 8 because the car just skips over all the curves. It looks like it's driving on top of the track and not in it, as now they make their way over to turn 2. He continues to close it back down. He went from about 0.6 of a second deficit now down to about 0.4 of a second deficit. So he's reeling in Roberts. He's about to be fully in the tow. This time coming out of the south side hairpin, heading towards Daytona corner. Let's see if this gap closes up on the back straightaway. Time is starting to wind down. 3 minutes plus 2 laps are yet to go here. So down into turn 6, Taylor right there on the back bumper. He did it. He closed down that 0.4 of a second gap, and he is barking on the back door of Titus Roberts through turn 8, and I think that is just the Achilles heel of Austin Taylor. That turn 8 exit just bites him. The cart bounces right over the turtle humps, and he's just not able to hold on to it as well as Titus Roberts is. But he's able to close it up everywhere else. He's taken up about 1/10 a lap. So statistically speaking, from previous terms, he should be there in about 2 laps to make a move on him. He's slowly closing back up. He gets really close everywhere else, but it's just that turn 6, 7, and 8 complex that kind of bites him a little bit, and he has to make up for it. Over into turn 6, he's trying to force an over-under. He gets door to door with Titus Roberts. Roberts has to go on the defensive of the inside, and we've seen this one before. Let's see how Taylor does it differently. He's going to try it out at 8. He gets to the inside line, and he doesn't lose as much as he did before there. He's staying right on the back bumper. About a half a length now down into turn 1. Is he going to have it here to the south side hairpin? He's in a good opportunity now. Gets straight to the back bumper. Maybe a little bit of a push there to Titus Roberts. Lose a little bit of time. He thought about it going through the left-hand crossover. Now into the south side hairpin. Can't get it done there. Straight to the back straightaway, or the crossover. Short shoot they go. Now through Daytona. And I think Austin Taylor might have it here. He's looking now. Does he have him into turn 6? As of now, yes. Roberts goes wide, and he is going to get a wheel in the marbles, and that will be it. Austin Taylor goes up 1 more position and inherit the lead. Just under 2 minutes to go, and now it's down to Titus Roberts, your second placeman. Can he learn off of Austin Taylor what he's doing differently in these short amount of time? I think about 5 or 6 laps is all that they're going to have here to until the clock winds to 0, about 1 minute and 10 seconds. So sorry, probably about 4 laps to go in total. Taylor continues to lead over Roberts in 1 and 2. Out of the south side hairpin they go, and now towards the Daytona banking. Down this back straightaway, Austin Taylor's got to hold on a little bit longer. He's pulling that draft farther and farther away from your second placeman to Titus Roberts. Less than 1 minute to go this time by. Over into turn 7, now into 8. Austin Taylor wants this clock to be under 45 seconds when it comes across the line, and I think he just might get it. It's 44 at the stripe, and I believe that will be it. So 3 laps to go now for your leader, Austin Taylor. Hold on just a little bit longer. 0.4 of a second is now the gap between himself and Titus Roberts in P2. Through the south side hairpin they go. Now through the short chute, heading towards Daytona corner. 17, 15, 14, 13. Clock will be at 0 across the stripe. Look for 2 laps to go for your leader, Austin Taylor. Through turn 6, it was 0.419 last time by. Let's see the gap this time by. I think it's going to be about the same unless Roberts closes up here. The best corner he has is turn 8. That's where he really makes up the time on Austin Taylor. Good news for Austin Taylor, he's got 0.4 in between him. The bad news is that's a final corner to the checkered, and just like that, he makes up 1/10. Titus Roberts makes up 1/10 on Austin Taylor now. Closing up, not close enough to make a move into the south side hairpin. and I think Titus Roberts' best move is going to have to be getting a lunge out of turn 8. He knows that's Austin Taylor's weak point, but that is the last corner going towards the straight. If he can get just close enough to get a run out of 7 and 8, we could see a side-by-side photo finish. Meanwhile, it's about a lap and a half to go out of turn 6 for the second to final time. Now over, heading to turn number 8. This is where Titus Roberts makes up the time. Takes that wider line, gets a good slingshot down that front straightaway, and I actually think he may have bobbled it a little bit. White flag in the air for Austin Taylor. Half a second now separates Taylor and Roberts. Austin Taylor, 44.7. Titus Roberts, 44.9. He made up 2/10 that last lap, but Roberts with the head of steam now. Over to the south side hairpin for the final time. Through the short chute into Daytona. Titus Roberts is out of the draft. Taylor takes a peek back and sees that he's got some breathing room. He's got to be perfect here into 6, 7, and 8. Through 6, glides that card in, and it looks like it's stuck pretty well. Now over into 7. I don't think Titus Roberts has got enough for it. Through 7 for the final time. Now 8, out of turn 8. Roberts, not close enough. Austin Taylor will take the win here for your Mini Swift. Austin Taylor comes across with the win on the MPG KR. Titus Roberts brings home P2 for the Haas New Gen chassis there in the second position. Casey Hendrickson brings it home in P3. That happened way off camera. I'm not sure what happened, but Casey Hendrickson, how about that for a drive? He was outside the top 6, and he ended up with the podium. Congratulations to Casey Hendrickson for the podium finish. Will Feichinger finishing in P4, Bentley McCain in P5, Dominic Gaddis in 6th, Dalton Sears 7th, and Lincoln Wiley rounds out the field in 8th. So that will do it for your Mini Micro. Up next is your 206 Heavy. That's all coming to you live. You're watching on Kart Chaser Grassroots. This is the Indy Karting Challenge, sponsored by NKA from Whiteland Raceway Park.
So you finally want to get behind the wheel, huh?
Yeah, I've been shooting for 3 years and I've never got to drive.
Well, you're going to need some more gear than just your helmet. Why don't you go to shopakr.com. They got their inventory online and they'll ship it the same day if you order before 5:30 p.m. Eastern.
They got shoes?
Yep.
Gloves?
Yep.
Rib protectors?
Got those too.
Can they make me go fast?
No.
Here at Acceleration Kart Racing, we've got everything you need to get on track. What happens next? Well, that's on you. Check us out online at shopakr.com.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula 1 to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
Green flag is out for your 206. Heavy making their way now over into turns, I believe that is now turn 8. It looks like they bobbled just a little bit as McCorkadale leads the way over Troy Tony in P2. If you recall back to the feature race that we had earlier today, they went side by side through Daytona corner all the way from Daytona to turn 8. They made it stick side by side, and I thought they were giving each other hand gestures, but they were actually just applauding each other that they were able to pull that off in such a fashion. But McCorkadale leading right now over Troy Tony, heading towards turn number 6 now. Here comes Tony on the inside, giving a little wave to each other as they go down into turn 6. Tony now is going to take the point in front of McCorkadale. Little friendly banter between the two of them as they go down into turn 7. They're still going to be nose to tail now over into turn number 8 as they make their way through. Out of turn 8, down the front straightaway for the second time. They're going to put 1 lap into the books officially. Second time down the start-finish straight. 9 minutes plus 2 laps still yet to go. And I think I might make my way down to the grid here shortly to give some interviews to the KA class before we get things going with them. So we're going to sit, and there's Adam Burrows making the drive back from the start straight to the finish straight. The green flag is shown on the back straightaway. Checker flag is shown on the front. So the 2 out in front now. Troy Tony and McCorkadale 1 and 2. Brian Williams P3. Palmer Eicher Jr. up into 4th. Maxwell in P5. Riley Galladay in 6th. Palmer Eicher Sr. in 7th. Brendan McIntosh in 8th. And Brendan Lorick in P9 as of now. So as the time continues to tick away, we're going to continue to watch these guys out on track. It's mostly going to be the Troy Tony and Evan McCorkadale showing spot positions back and forth all weekend. I'm going to make my way down to the grids, interview some of these kiddos, and hopefully be back up here by the time the race finishes. So we're going to turn on to static cams here, and we're going to hear from some of our drivers in the KA Junior category. So I'm down here on grid with Dane Van Dyke. Now, Dane, the entire season it seemed like you were chasing the MPG guys all the way out in front. This weekend it seems like you're right there on the cusp. Just talk to us about this weekend so far and what you've done differently.
Yeah, this weekend I've just been a little bit more consistent, and I've been there earlier. The last couple of races, my tires came in a little late, or in the last race I was right there and just came down to the last lap. So this week I'm searching for it. I think it's mine.
Now, it seemed like as well, like you talking about before, you've been very aggressive on the start. It seemed like before you were a little bit patient, maybe wanted to wait towards the end. It didn't quite come to you. Is that the plan for this weekend, to go hard at the start?
Yeah, I'm going to try and get there. I'm going to try and leave, and we'll see how it goes.
All right, there it is. Thank you. Good luck. That is Dane Dyke trying to go for a win here, the first one of the season. I'm down here with Landon Brewer. You're starting on the outside of row number 1. Now, seems like you've been running away with it this entire season. Dane Van stepped up his game, and he's been right there keeping you humble the entire time this season. Talk to us a little bit about this weekend, what you're doing differently.
Yeah, we have made a few changes since Stars last weekend with the track length, ton of rubber from just practice this week. I mean, it's insane. So, I mean, everyone's going new tires. So, I mean, it'll be a good race. Yeah.
Now, it seems like you and Dane have kind of been in a class of your own. Everyone's been right there. I know Dominic's been there with you guys, but when it comes down to it, it seems when that white flag comes out, it's always been you and Dane. What's going in that last lap? What's your strategy?
Don't know if I can say that.
There it is. All right, that's Landon Brewer going to start on the outside of row number 1.
Third and KA. Starting on pole light. So not too bad.
I started dead last.
Yeah, they were talking about you coming from the back.
For Troy Tony out in front with McCorkadale, not too far back, about a half a second behind. Troy Tony and McCorkadale have showed great sportsmanship all weekend long, giving each other thumbs up when they went side by side through the bank corner, all the way through the back parts of the track to the main straightaway. And even now, when Troy Tony was able to get around McCorkadale, giving a bit of a wave and a salute going down into turn number 6. And I believe it is all going to come to an end here soon. 2 laps were shown that last time by to Troy Tony on that new Jan Haas chassis. Just behind him, Evan McCorkadale, who is running a Brell Art under the CW team this weekend. Making his way now through turn number 8 for the second to final time. Look for the white flag as they make their way across the stripe. Troy Tony, one more lap before he can bring it on home with the win for your 206 Senior Heavy. through turns 1 and 2. He goes for the final time. The climb he makes up the hill now before he makes the little descent to the south side hairpin. Bringing up the hill now, dropping right down into the banking in the downhill. Now they go into the short chute between the south side hairpin and Daytona corner, down this long back straightaway, heading into turn number 6. The best passing opportunity we have here on this layout, or one of, I should say. Through turn 6 they go with a big old sweeping corner before they bring it to turn 7, also known as Big Bend. With how long that corner is, you can't run side by side on the outside line. It just kills your momentum. For the short chute now, over into turn 8 for the final time, over the turtle humps and down the front straightaway. Give a round of applause. Troy Toney going for a sweep of the weekend and takes the win here for your 2:06 Senior Heavy Final. Evan McCorkadale comes home in P2. Brian Williams, how about that? A 3rd place finish for Brian Williams on another new Gen Haas chassis. Palmer Eicher Jr., we haven't seen him a whole lot here at Whiteland Raceway Park. He comes home in P4, and Brendan McIntosh rounding out your top 5. So that'll do it for your 2:06 Senior Heavy Final. Up next, it is your KA Junior. Following that will be the headline event for the weekend, the 2:06 Light, set to all go green here shortly from WRP.
We're at a commercial break.
Brandon, why are there all these charges for just over $200 from Acceleration Kart Racing's website?
That's because AKR gives you free shipping on orders of $200 or more within the continental US.
Okay, but I thought you were just getting a pair of gloves. That's what, 70 bucks?
But if I'm getting a new pair of gloves, I might as well get a new pair of shoes to match. And then on top of that, I'll get a neck brace because with the shipping, it's basically free.
Yeah, I do not think the math checks out on that.
Everything you need, all in one place and shipped to your door for free for orders of $200 or more. Exclusions apply. Spend responsibly. Shop AKR.com.
And here we are live for your KA Junior, set to go out on track. And the big storyline is Dave Van Dyke and Landon Burr, the two out in front that have been the, I guess you could say, the two that you've been trying to chase down all weekend long. Van Dyke, talking to him earlier today, he says that he wants this one bad. He thinks it's in his grasp, and he said he's going for it from the start. Landon Brewer, who's been comfortable leading here almost every single race that we've had in the KA Junior category, out in front, and he knows Van Dyke has been quick. Talking to him earlier today, he says that more grip has been put down since people were practicing for stars, and he said there's going to be more grip continued to put down, he thinks, due to the fact that people are going to come down here and test for races such as SIRA, Route 66, and much, much more. And you can see the rubber on the track all the way through the darker parts where the rubber buildup has been put down. This new tire compound actually puts down more rubber than what we've seen previously before, but right now, Landon Burr out in front over Dane Van Dyke in P2 as they make their way now towards the inner parts of the track, heading towards the south side hairpin, and this is going to be the one to watch. 1 and 2, Brewer and Van Dyke. Although right now, Burr holding on to about a half a second advantage out in front over Van Dyke, both holding out to about a second advantage over Mason Gaulian in the third position. So here we go now over to the south side hairpin. Dane Van Dyke went about 42.8 that last time by. Landon Brewer 42.9. So Van Dyke went about a tenth faster, but he's down by about 3/10. It was a half a second, and he's slowly bringing that deficit down, just under 8 minutes plus 2 laps to go as they make their way over into turn 7. On to turn 8 now as they go down the main straightaway, heading towards the start-finish. Landon Brewer is still out in front, although the time's starting to plateau. They're running almost identical lap times as they make their way now towards the inner parts of the track. Still plenty of time to go. I'm going to see if I can't make my way down to the grid and talk to some more of these drivers here set to go for the 206 light. We're going to continue to watch here, and I'll give you guys updates when I'm downstairs. So down here on grid with Braden Heber, if I'm not mistaken, in the third position. Now, Braden, when it came time for that heat, it's kind of been the Burrell Arts as well. With and Eli Fox, you've been kind of an island of your own. I mean, you've been up in that Burrell Art group. However, you kind of were trying to separate yourselves from them. So just talk about that heat race, what was going on, and how'd you stay with the top three?
I'm not really sure. I just kept driving, just followed Eli's line. Eli's been racing here for a long time. That he knows really well. I tried to read off of his lines.
Now going into this one, a little bit different. The heat race, you just wanted to be up in a good starting spot. Now going into it, you know that the two that work together are not going to be nose to tail. What's your plan of attack now?
I'm going to try to stay with them and see if I can make something happen towards the end. But I'm definitely going to go for the win here. It's been a while since I've won here, so I'd like to go for it.
There it is, Braden Heber going to start in the third spot, and he said he's going to go for it here this weekend. Now, Jared Howerton, you can't get away, buddy. You're going to have to say a couple words. Now, you and Eli have worked well all weekend long. Now you got a sea of karts from behind, mostly in the Burrell Art with the CW team. You and Eli, what's your plan right now?
Let's get a little bit of a gap and then hopefully push for a big gap and then fight at the very end.
You guys have a plan for the start of how you're going to get nose to tail?
Nope.
There it is, Jared Howard of many words, starting on the outside of number one. Let's see if we can bug some more people here. Eli, got to talk to you real quick. I talked to Jared. He said that you guys have big plans on the start to go nose to tail. How are you going to tackle that one?
Get a good start and try and do what we did in the heat.
You guys going to try and separate yourselves from the rest of the field, or you want to get your elbows up a little bit?
I'd love to do the same thing again.
There it is, Eli Fox sitting on the pole position here at WRP. Let's see if we can't bug a couple more to make our way down the line. Brandon Johnson, I know you're not feeling too well, so I'll promise to make this short and sweet. You've been the driver who's been the bridge between the front three and the rest of the field. You've had your elbows up. I know it's been a long day for you, but going into this one right now, what's your plan of attack?
We've been going over the data all day, trying to just figure out where we can find a little bit of time. We've been pretty fast by ourselves, but when everybody else gets together, we're a little slow. So made a couple adjustments, just hoping to get a clean start, get up to the front, and hopefully get a clean race with the boys. So look forward to it.
There it is. That is going to be your fifth place starter right there, Johnson. Let's see if we can't say a word here with Gage Cianato. Now, Gage, you've been up in that front group. You're kind of in that tweener pack from the front pack and then the mid pack. You guys have been kind of an island of your own right now. You got more than capability to stay up in that front four. What's your plan of attack here on the start?
Get behind people I know and work with them till the end and then fight it out up front.
Now, what are you going to do with the leader start, trying to separate from the field? Are you going to keep your head down, or are you going to try to scuffle for that as many points as you can, so to speak?
I think the plan is to pass early and then just figure out where everybody lines up. If somebody's faster than me, I'll let them by and just file in if I can.
There it is. Good luck to you. That's Gage Justinato. Says he's going to play it pretty smart here this afternoon, as we are going to send it back up into the booth, and we're going to call out the rest of this KA Junior event. We are now approaching roughly 2 laps to go here at the line. It is Landon Brewer out in front, has a 3.8 second gap over your second placement of that young man right there. That is Dane Van Dyke, who went very aggressive on the start, and it looks like his strategy may not have played into his hands as he continues to lose just a little bit of time. 4.4 seconds, almost 4.5, separates himself and the leader right now of Landon Brewer out in front. Brewer, though, has had a almost picture-perfect race from the start. He had the pole position for the heat race, finished second in the heat, so he can't do a clean sweep of the weekend, but what he can do is get a win this afternoon. About a lap and a quarter, more to go through turn 7 for the second to final time, now over into turn 8 for the penultimate lap, coming down to receive the white flag. And there it is, Landon Brewer one more time by before he can take the win here for the K8 Junior. Over down into turn 1 and into turn 2, making his way up the hill for that climb towards the south side hairpin, I should say. Down towards the south side hairpin he goes. Almost getting the back end kicked out a little too far, able to save it. Down that short chute into the Daytona corner for the final time. Down the back straightaway. A handful of more corners to go before he can take the win here as the lone MPG KR in this event. Down out of turn 6 into Big Bend, turn 7 for the final time. Heading into turn 8, here comes the final short chute for the final time. Out of turn 8 and on the main straightaway. Give a round of applause as he brings it on home. Landon Brewer taking the win for K8 Junior. So that will do it for the K8 Junior event. Landon Brewer taking the win over Dane Van Dyke into P2, and up next and out on track is your 206 Light. You are watching live on Kart Chaser Grassroots. This is the Indy Karting Challenge sponsored by NKA, as we have one more event to go for this weekend club race, so stay tuned. One more and the best one coming to you this afternoon.
Welcome to the Kart Indianapolis experience at Whiteland Raceway Park. Indy's premier outdoor karting circuit, Whiteland Raceway Park is just 20 minutes south of downtown Indy and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Our trackside event center and high-speed go-karts make Whiteland Raceway Park the perfect destination for your next event or party. Stop in today or book your race online at racewrp.com and experience real racing right here in Indy.
Kyle, I need a new 219 chain. I need a 77 tooth roof sprocket. I need some more chain lube, and I need it probably as soon as like tomorrow. Dude, are you even listening? Like, we need this to run this weekend.
Want anything else?
What do you mean?
I already got it in the Kart on Acceleration Kart Racing's online store, bro. All orders over $200 get free shipping.
Oh, throw in a set of tires.
Done.
Everything you need, all in one place, and shipped to your door for free on orders of $200 or more. Exclusions apply. Shop akr.com. And here we go. This is the last of the races for the day, and this is also the best one that we have. This is your 206 Light, set to take the green. Green flag is out, and side by side over into turn 7, it is Jared Howerton and Eli Fox. Here comes car number 6. That is going to be the CW Burrell Art of Levi Wilbur. A little loose there on exit, and talking to the drivers down on grid, Eli Fox and Jared Howerton both had a plan to work together, and right now the CW of Wilbur trying to prevent that from happening. He's got a teammate about 2 carts back, and his name is Brayton Heber in cart number 8. He's roughly about 2 positions back to give him any assistance. But right now, I think Wilbur's just trying to break up the top 2 of Howerton and Fox, and maybe, just maybe, get around Howerton long enough to keep him back in
so-called feed them to the wolves of that mid-pack battle, because they always go back and forth. There's Fox getting a little bit of assistance. I believe that's from Gage Justinato, giving him a push in the back going into turn number 6. Now as they make their way over towards turn 7. Big bend and making their way now over into turn 8. Howerton's still out in front, and I believe Wilbur's reeling them in quickly. Down this front straightaway, the gap goes down to about a kart length to a kart length and a half. Now over towards the start-finish straight. Into turn number 1 for the second time they go, and they're still going to go side by side all the way back. And Braden Johnson goes door to door there with Heber. So I think that mid-pack there from what appears to be 4th, 5th, and 6th might get a little heated here in a second. But the top 2 of Wilbur and Howerton so far working for him. We know that Wilbur likes to lead. We know Howerton is okay pushing, but Wilbur taking a peek back. I think once he saw that gap to the karts behind, he is content now just to sit and push all the way through. And oh, looks like trouble on track. One of the karts coming to a stop there on the exit of turn 2. As there's more drama happening a little bit farther on back. The rest of the field going single file now down the main straight into turn number 1. Still Wilbur pushing on the back bumper of Howerton now over into the turn 2 complex. Fox an island of his own. He's got Gage Justinato behind him, about 4 or 5 kart lengths back. Gage is getting help from Braden Johnson. Right behind him is Braden Heber. So it's Braden and Braden spelled 2 different ways. Running 5th and 6th with Gage in the 4th position. All trying to reel in Eli Fox in 3rd. Meanwhile, that front pack of Levi Wilbur and Jared Howerton, it looks like they're okay and content working together. I don't think Wilbur wants to lead too quickly here, because that's going to slow him back down. And for sure, what he doesn't want is to allow Howerton and Fox to reconnect, because those two, they may not be teammates, but they have worked together almost all season long. And they're a very fast duo, even though that they're on 2 different chassis. Howerton being on the iKart, the Indianapolis-built chassis here locally in Indianapolis, Indiana, based at Whiteland Raceway Park. And then he gets a P2 of Levi Wilbur on the Burrell Art CW, also based here at WRP at Whiteland Raceway Park. And then he get back to Eli Fox on the new Gen Haas chassis, again, based here at Whiteland Raceway Park. So Whiteland is the capital of all teams here in the U.S. that run here at the track. And it looks like we got a couple of karts turned together. I believe that might be gauged just enough. We can get a shot of the camera view of the Daytona corner. We got 2 karts stopped on each other. And it looks like, I believe, trying to see the 2 karts, and it looks like one may be Howerton. That is Howerton up on the top of the banking, and Gage Justinato stopped on the bottom of the hill. Hopefully we can get him out of the way here soon, since the field is coming fairly quickly as Howerton now trying to see if he can't get his engine started. We got track marshals over there. They got him fired up, and let's see if we can't get him out of the way of the field. As there's Jared Howerton, his brother Dylan Howerton, one who stopped upside on top of the track. Everyone's slowing down to make sure they can get off cleanly. And now, thankfully, everyone off track and okay, walking around. I'm sure there may be some frustration in that mid-pack, but unfortunate to see there. That could have been a nasty situation. Thankfully, our crew was able to get there early and get them off the track and get everything sorted. Now we can go back to racing here in the front group, and because of all that chaos that happened, it bunched up the top 5. Howerton continues to lead going down into turn 1. Then Fox able to get around Wilbur going into turn 6 up into P2. Braden Johnson up into 3rd. Wilbur falls back to 4th. And then Braden Heber now in the 5th position as they make their way into the south side hairpin. Howerton holding on to about a half a second advantage over Eli Fox in P2. Braden Johnson in P3 pushing hard on the back bumper of Fox. And then just behind him, Levi Wilbur in the 4th spot, also giving a push. Heber, he's in the field of view, just a little bit farther back than the 3 out in front. I think he's just got to enjoy the toe of that front pack and hope that he can close back up towards that front 5, because naturally, as they start racing each other, that's then going to slow the pack back down and allow more contenders to come back up. However, that top 5 has got a huge break in between themselves, being caboosed by Braden Heber before he gets to Raider Santos in the 6th position. And I wouldn't be surprised if that gap was over 5 seconds. Let's see it as they make their cross the stripe now. 8.1 seconds is the difference between Heber in the 5th position and Kyler Peebles in 6th. So let's sit and watch the top 5 as Fox was able to reconnect with Jared Howerton while I was rambling on about the differences in tracks. And I'll tell you what, if you're the three of Johnson, Wilbur, and Heber, this is not what you want to see. These two are content pushing nose to tail until the final lap, and they're also the two fastest karts when they're linked up together on the circuit. Johnson's going to have to put any differences he has with Wilbur away, and Wilbur is going to have to work with Johnson if he wants to close back up to the top two. The good thing is they got 3 karts in that second pack. Bad news is they're not connected just yet. There's still a little bit of spacing. No one wants to let off out in that front group, even if that means you can make up more time in the distance. And I think they're all going to be going all out, so to speak, to close back up to the top 2, because right now this could be a very stagnant race in the top 2. And if 3rd, 4th, and 5th aren't careful, they could see that gap continue to grow. Right now it's sitting at about a second. It is possible that can close back down as Fox gives a push to Howerton going into turn 6. We're sitting at 3 minutes and 40 seconds plus 2 laps to go. Out of turn 7 and setting up for turn 8. Howerton and Fox still nose to tail. Last time by, Howerton went a 46.1, Fox went a 46.0, Johnson went a 46.7, Wilbur went a 46.9, Heber went a 46.0. Last time by though, Wilbur went purple, 45.807. Jared Howerton, your leader's best time last lap was a 46.153. So Wilbur and Johnson are fast when they connect together. They just need to get a little bit more and start working together. Fox is not close to Howerton at the moment. He only gives him a little bit of a push going into turn 6 right there. He barely gets the back of his nose. Meanwhile, Wilbur in that 4th position is acting like an absolute plow on the back bumper of Johnson, shoving him down that entire back straightaway. Behind him, his teammate Brayton Heber, who's in that draft, also getting pulled along as well. Let's see this time by what the times look like. Your top 2, 46.2, 46.2. Johnson, Wilbur, and Heber, 46.1, 46.1, 45.8. So the 3 are now faster than the top 2, and they are closing. Johnson almost in towing range of Eli Fox coming out of the south side hairpin, as we're now looking at 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Out of Daytona and down the back straightaway, roughly about 7/10 separates Fox and Johnson. Wouldn't be surprised if that closes down even more so, as Wilbur has got one heck of a piece behind him. He is pushing hard on the back bumper of Johnson to close him up to the top 2. Out of turn 8, that gap visually closes, now down to about 2 or 3 kart lengths as they make the drive from the final corner down towards the start-finish straight. Let's see the gap now. It was 7/10, now it's down to 4. The gap is all but 0 as Johnson closes up to the back bumper of Fox. We got a 5-kart race on our hands. 1 minute and 40 seconds plus 2 laps to go, and I think we might see the downfall of the top 2. They have been the benchmark to beat almost the entire season, and now it appears that everyone knows their hand and they're playing the cards to their advantage. Fox now giving a good push to Howerton over into turn 6, but Wilbur still got a heck of a piece and a motor behind him, pushing on the back bumper of Johnson. Out of the big bend of turn 7, coming over towards turn 8, still nose to tail. The gap's still about 2 kart lengths. Down this front straightaway, Johnson up on the wheel. Wilbur giving him a huge push. 1 minute and 13 to go at the line. Remember, we still add 2 laps when the clock strikes midnight, or 0 in this case, as they are now working their way out of turn 2. Over into the south side hairpin. Howerton continues to lead over Fox, Johnson, and Wilbur. They are not teammates. Johnson for AMAX Racing, Wilbur for CW, but I think they all know the same theme here. You got to break up the top 2. As now, Johnson's giving a push to Fox. I think he's trying to separate him from Wilbur just a little bit farther back, and looking at the gap now, it looks like Brayton Heber is starting to lose track of the top 4. I think the race is going to come to him. When these top 4 decide going tooth and nail back and forth for it, I think that gap is going to close back down between Heber and what is now Wilbur in the 4th position, as we're looking at 40 seconds to go. So I think we're right at 3 minutes, and we are. 17 seconds to go here, so we're going to have 2 laps next time by. The drivers don't know that. We do. They know it's coming close to time, and they can see the flagman reaching for the double sticks that last time by. So I think now is going to be go time here if you're Johnson in that 3rd position. He's waiting to see if he can get some help from Wilbur in P4, but now Fox has got a good push on Howerton heading down into turn 6. They make it through single file, and once those double sticks go in the air, I think it's going to be all chaos inside the top 4. through turn 7 for the third to final time. Now over into the final corner. Down this front straightaway. Johnson right there. He's in tow, and so is Wilbur. Wilbur closed it back up, coming down to the stripe now. Across the start-finish line. 2 laps being presented this time by, as we are now sitting and waiting to see what happens. Who's going to make the first move and break up this front pack? Fox trailing just a little bit farther back from Howerton than he previously has before, and it's going to be close to go time, especially if you're in the position of Levi Wilbur or Braden Johnson. You're going to need to make your act quick, because if that 2-pack breaks up, or if that 4-pack breaks up into 2 2-packs, that's probably not going to be the best situation if you're running in that 3rd or 4th position. Braden Heber, who's off the field of view of the camera, he's right there at the end of it, and he is, I think, praying right now. Someone make a move here as we're approaching the white flag. One more time to go as we are finishing the penultimate lap, coming on to the final lap. Here comes Howerton, and Fox knows the tail into turn 1, and I think Fox might wait to the last corner, but it might come at a cost. Johnson and Wilbur have been the fastest duo together in this race so far in the feature. As they make their way over the south side hairpin, no one decides to take it here, and I think turn 6 might be a bit of a crapshoot. Are they going to open Pandora's box and see what happens? Howerton might need to defend here. He's taking the normal line, goes about mid-track. Now he goes down to the bottom side. And it looks like Wilbur going to take the normal line. Here comes Johnson trying to get his nose into it. Wilbur gets a good run now since he took the normal racing line. Over into turn 7. Fox defending off while trying to go on the attack right behind Howerton. Here comes Johnson up into 2nd, and he's got some momentum behind him. Is it going to be enough? I don't think so. I think it's going to go the way of Jared Howerton, and it is. Jared Howerton with the win for 206 Senior Light. Braden Johnson able to break up the duo, goes up into the 2nd position. Eli Fox finishing in P3. Levi Wilbur brings it on home in 4th. Braden Heber in 5th. Kyler Peebles comes across to finish in 6th. Ethan Williams 7th. Raider Santos in 8th. Gates Justianato and Dylan Howerton again both involved, and thankfully okay in that incident that happened in the Daytona Banks corner. Dominic Stancombe in 11th, and Keegan Day rounds out the field in 12th. So that is going to do it for our program here for the afternoon and for today as we sit back here and watch the replay for the 206 Senior Light event. That was the start that saw Howerton go straight to the point. Howerton, I believe, led every single lap of the feature event. You saw Levi Wilbur get his nose up in there, too, to go up into the 2nd spot. There's a good static cam shot from up here in the booth of the entire field, and that's the incident that happened out on track. Again, not quite sure what happened. Maybe if we can get a slow-mo replay of that, if it's possible. We can rewind that. There we go, just a little bit to see what happened here, because, man, it looks like, can't quite tell from this angle, but there's a good shot right there. See if we can slow it down right here, boys. Beautiful. All right, so we went 3 wide down into the south side hairpin. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I think that may have been Stancombe Justianato that got up on the back bumper right there on Howerton. Howerton was in the middle, and then I think Stancombe was just on the outside line and collateral damage from that. But thankfully, everyone was okay, and yeah, they went like that all the way down the back straightaway. There's a good shot right here. That was when the 2 carts got separated, and that was Howerton trying to restart his car on track. You can see his bumper is cockeyed off to the right-hand side. Justianato down trying to restart as well. And then we switch over here to when Howerton and Fox were trying to just push themselves away from the rest of the field this entire race. They were trying to just build up as much distance as they could, but unfortunate for them, or I guess fortunate for Howerton, who won, it was Levi Wilbur and Braden Johnson, just a fast duo all weekend long, especially in this feature. And then this is going on to the final couple of laps. You can see everyone's up on the wheel. Howerton up front, just taking a peek back to make sure that no one's getting too close to him. And then right here, I think is when he took it all the way down to the bottom parts of the track. There, off in the 6, Levi Wilbur decided to take the normal line. That was a bit of a gamble because he wanted to roll the normal racing line. And then right here is what did it for 2nd place. That was when Johnson was able to get around. You see Wilbur on the inside as well, trying to see if he can't get a piece of the action, but just didn't have enough momentum to get it done. But how about that? Awesome event here for the 206 Senior Light. I want to give a huge shout out to our camera crew. They have killed it all day long, and they've been doing a great job all season. None of this would be possible without them, so thank you for all your hard work and all you've done here for the production side of things. I want to thank Kart Chaser for allowing us to put our races out onto their channel so we can make ourselves public across the country. We know that our facility is one of the top notch in the country after Andy and Sarah bought it and decided to refurbish it going forward. So thank you to Andy and Sarah. Thank you to everyone involved in making this happen, to our track marshals, to everyone who came out and raced here this weekend. We hope you guys enjoyed it watching back at home. We know we had a good time here all day. We look forward to seeing you guys at the next one. So once again, thank you all for tuning in, and thank you, Kart Chaser Grassroots. This is the Indy Karting Challenge sponsored by NKA from Whiteland Raceway Park. We look forward to seeing you guys at the next one. Thank you.
Welcome to the Kart Indianapolis experience at Whiteland Raceway Park. Indy's premier outdoor karting circuit, Whiteland Raceway Park is just 20 minutes south of downtown Indy and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Our trackside event center and high-speed go-karts make Whiteland Raceway Park the perfect destination for your next event or party. Stop in today or book your race online at racewrp.com and experience real racing right here in Indy.
We're at a commercial break.
So you will finally want to get behind the wheel, huh?
Yeah, I've been shooting for 3 years and I've never got to drive.
Well, you're gonna need some more gear than just your helmet. Why don't you go to shopakr.com. They got their inventory online and they'll ship it the same day if you order before 5:30 p.m. Eastern.
They got shoes?
Yep.
Gloves?
Yep.
Rip protectors?
Got those too.
Can they make me go fast?
No.
Here at Acceleration Kart Racing, we've got everything you need to get on track. What happens next? Well, that's on you. Check us out online at shopakr.com.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.